Today we're going to make sourdough starter. I'm actually going to feed the sourdough starter. We use a sourdough starter to make sourdough breads. I've been keeping this for over a year and 3 months, I guess, and it has been awesome. So a starter is a combo of wild yeast and lactic acid bacteria. You need yeast to lift the bread. Lactic acid bacteria is more of a flavoring for the bread. So a starter is going to help, it's going to give you a different flavor profile for your bread. So it's going to give you airier, lighter bread. When we're making our bread, we'll have our flour and our water and our salt. And then instead of adding yeast, we're going to add a certain amount of starter to it. We want active live starter to add to the bread. To create a sourdough starter could take anywhere from a week to 10 days to maybe even a month before you have something robust and really active and able to lift dough for you. And if you have a container that you mark where your dough started and then let it sit in its resting place, you can see it rise over time. And it's a slow process. It's not like you're gonna mix this dough and 10 minutes later it's gonna be up to where it's supposed to be. It's gonna take hours to get to the state that you want it to be. So I'm feeding this culture twice a day. I feed it every 12 hours, about every 12 hours. Just like you need to be fed, or you need to feed your culture. Otherwise, it's not gonna work for you and it's gonna die. Most of the breads that we make at Beck's Bakery are leavened with sourdough culture. On a weekly basis, you can pick up the country sourdough and the whole wheat sourdough. And then I usually have 2 other whole grain breads at the market, and those are often leavened with the sourdough culture. So if I have to go away, I will put my culture in the refrigerator, but I do try to feed it every day. If I go away for a long time, I'll just have a friend who can take care of it for me. I'm gonna show you what we do at the bakery, and this is the feeding that I do twice a day. When I need more, I will make a much larger batch of this, but this is my daily feeding. And I keep it pretty minimal because I don't want to waste a lot. I have to, you'll see that I'll have to throw out and compost some. So I'm starting here with a little blob of culture. This we fed this morning, and now we're going to feed it again. So I'm going to do 8 grams of culture here. This is about a teaspoon, maybe a heaping teaspoon of culture. And then the rest of this that's left in here, not much, here, I'm gonna compost this. So I'm not gonna use this anymore. And I'm adding 29 grams of water to this. This is water that's gone through a chlorine filter. So you can use tap water, but maybe run it through a Brita filter. Okay, so we have our water and our starter in here. It's not a lot. The water was about 2 tablespoons worth. And then I'm just gonna use my little knife here and just kind of mush it in there. 100% whole grain rye flour. It's about 8 grams, which is about 1 tablespoon. And then I'm gonna just kind of stir that in there real quick. Next, I'm adding the whole wheat flour. And this is gonna be about 3 tablespoons. I use 32 grams. Seed starting mat. And the reason for that is because I can stick a probe into my culture and then set a temperature, the exact temperature I want. And so that's what I've been doing for over a year now. So I'm sticking the probe in there. I have my little seed mat. I have a fancy box here. Pop it in there, cover it up. Throw my tangle of cords in there. It'll turn on. It says that the culture right now is 69 degrees and the heating is on, so it's gonna heat up to 72. And once it hits 72, the heat turns off. And then it just keeps it nice and cozy. So I'll do that. This will sit all night, and tomorrow morning we'll do it again. That's the deal.